Hey Alex, how you doing? Okay, I got your work up. Thanks so much for including this PDF. I just love it when you guys do that because it makes it so much easier to take a closer look at things, alignment, etc. So one of the things I'm looking at here is this is a good piece. It is. The cover is good. Boy, I tell you what, I would introduce a third color, or I'm sorry, a fourth color. You got the red, the blue, and the black, and boy, I don't know. It just seems like this piece is just screaming for another color. Maybe a yellow ball instead of the blue. I just think it's almost monochromatic. I think it could be a lot more interesting with an additional color. Your call, but think about it. Think about introducing maybe the yellow ball, but then you would have to introduce yellow here, and that might be too much. So it may entail recomposing your timeline a little bit. I think this is too bulky, anyways. It's okay as the ball over here because it's tiny, but it's just enormous over here. So no matter what you do, no matter how you configure this page, that the eye goes right there, just because it's so much heavier and bulkier and bigger than anything else on the page. Okay, so we talked about this. We talked about well, in grading, I talked about the fact that you got Lorem Ipsum here. I can't really do a complete critique without live text. Okay, so there's no way for me to be able to really give you the type of critique I'd like to. I can mention a few things. In terms of uh, um, your grid, now I'm just going to Command R this. Okay, and we see that you've got, okay, 11, so that would be 5.5. So your center line would be clear over here. Right here. That's the center line of your page. Okay, so we can see that as if this is a 4-column grid, this isn't centered. The grid isn't equal. It's not even because you have this grid encroaching on the center line. So if this were a 4-column grid, you would have 4 even columns. And in this case, you don't. Conversely, if we came up here, with this being, let me see something here. Hang on one second. Trying to draw that center line up top there, and it's an optical illusion that was playing a trick on me because this certainly looks like it's centered, but it's not. This is your actual center line. So if this is indeed a 4-column grid, you'll want to carry that grid over to the front and utilize that line. I say that because you may want to end your rectangle, your triangles right on that line. Conversely, this is not aligning with anything either. So if we can pull that out, pull a guide out there, we can see that just kind of intersects with nothing. My idea would be to take that and bring it down. It doesn't have to be at that point right there, but somewhere in there, and move that type down and align it. And you talk about structure, that will really add some structure to the page. It'll add a lot of rigidity, it will reinforce the foundational structure of the page. Watch, you'll see. You might have to move this whole thing up because as you move this down, if you maintain that type size, you're gonna run out of room at the bottom of the page there. So think about that. Okay, so the other thing would be that now we have this if this is your grid indeed, then of course this would be a natural place to align things. So right there, boom, move that over, start your alignment right there, and then bring it out, and then end your alignment right there as well. So your 1895 and your 1992 both start at that second, or however, whenever you reconfigure your grid, however that lines up. Just remember, things should be aligned with something. Everything should be aligned with something. So, okay, and then like I said, I cannot comment on typography if there is none. So this is critical that you get live text in here. Do not, please don't do all this work and not drop live text in here, because without live text, it's not a typographic assignment. I hope that makes sense. All right, looking forward to seeing if you want to repost here. I'd love to see this with live text, but it's that important. Yeah. All right, good job. Thanks very much.